Bit premature there. Story of my life. Right, anyway, good evening, everyone. How we doing? Welcome along to Paranormal Monkey Podcast. So, it's going to be a bit of a mad one this evening. I can already see it. But tonight is all about the smaller channels, the teams that go out week after week after week, trying to put out content for people. So, let's welcome in Staffordshire Paranormal Explorers. Good evening to James and Rianne. Hello to you guys.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, all.
Ali and Sadie from Hauntex TV. Good evening.
Hello, everybody.
And I suppose we'd better bring in from Three Spires Paranormal, the lovely Lee.
I'm sorry, hello. You're right.
Welcome along, everybody. Hope we're good.
Oh, good. Thank
All
you.
good.
All good.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so obviously the whole thing for tonight is shining a light on kind of slightly smaller channels, not your big 100K sub-type channels, those that have that experience of going out, investigating the paranormal week after week after week, largely for the sheer passion of it, because it's certainly not really a monetary thing, you know, and I suppose as well, it's kind of making people a bit more aware of the realities of what we do as content creators, basically. So, but before all of that, I don't know who wants to start, but I just want you to give each of you a chance to describe your channel and just describe your channel, what you do, and kind of your take on how you like to investigate, basically. So, who wants to chip in? What's that, James?
Yeah, I think, I mean, you have to go back to the start with us, really. We started off going along on investigations with events companies and then doing kind of the outdoor old castle ruins and different things like that. Then we thought, we saw a lot of people doing kind of derelict buildings and things like that. And it was around that time that we got a camper van. So we thought, let's go and explore more of the UK and kind of find more locations that perhaps less people had heard of. The issue with those kind of places is you haven't got maybe the paranormal stories behind them and stuff, but you do get to see some really interesting places. And on the off chance, you might find a place that's got something going on there, or we're led to believe there might be some activity there.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Just very, very quickly, Beck, thank you so much. Beck Keys for $30.99 Australian dollars. Thank you so much, Beck, for your support. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Ali and Sadie, do you want to tell us a little bit about your channel and how you like to go about stuff? Because it's all three of you kind of very different, I suppose, in how you go about things.
Yeah, I suppose so. Sadie and I are a paranormal couple. We met within the paranormal field back in 2013. I was a guest medium for The Haunting, which Sadie ran, Ghost Hunting Company. And then throughout the years, we just took that on, I suppose, did our own events, took The Haunting on. did loads and loads of events all over the UK, I suppose, with that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been a psychic medium since 2000, well, professionally since 2011, and until about 2021, where I got what some people would call a real job. But I just thought to myself, you know what, I can't be doing this self-employed stuff. I need to go out and get myself just normal, you know what I mean, like 9 to 5, I suppose, with that. Just got to be honest there. But, and then we stopped doing events, obviously Help I'm Being Haunted, did all that kind of stuff and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward a little bit, 2019, 2020, thought, what have we not done in the paranormal? Well, we've done a lot of stuff, but we haven't done YouTube. Will we go to YouTube? And we did that, didn't we?
Yeah.
The first video, well, we did some silly little videos, just putting them up, kind of not that serious kind of thing. And then we did Hull, Lord Line in Hull. And it was at that point I thought to myself, we've got 250 subscribers, and I said that night, what are we doing? This is a waste of time and everything like that. This has been flat as a pancake. You know, what am I doing? Let's just give up. And then all of a sudden, Sadie, during the edit, said, "What's that?" And it was like something running behind us. And then obviously Nuke's Top 5 picked it up. I know, say no more about that. But we got picked up with that. And then all of a sudden, 3,000 odd subscribers came in from that alone, just that. So it kind of spurred us on to kind of say, do you know what?
Let's carry on.
Let's carry on. But the way we investigate is very kind of, I suppose, spiritually in a sense, with my background within mediumship. However, Sadie is very much your original ghost hunter style, going in with the torch and your camera, and that's it. So that's what technically we do, is we just go in with our camera. We go in with our video lights, and we pull out the old Tascam recorder for old school EVP sessions, holding your breath, and then holding it on a tripod, and then going releasing it, and then seeing what you've captured, and relaying it in real time as well for the replay. See if anyone could hear anything. We're quite interactive as well, I suppose, with it within the videos that we do.
We fall out too.
Well,
yeah, there's always falling.
That's what happens when you get married. But the good positive thing is we've got the same, I suppose, passion within the paranormal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing paranormal and actively involved since 2007, you know, so this is, you know, for us to still be involved within the paranormal is something, because
a long old time.
A lot of people, we've seen it, Justin, a lot of people have come and gone.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Lee,
over to you then, Lee. How do you, you know, so tell me about Three Spires, and, you know, and how you like to investigate it.
Well, firstly, we started same as most people did in the UK, and that was through Most Haunted.
Yep.
And skip ahead to lockdown, and I was watching a lot of paranormal videos, a lot, and I found that quite a few of them were just really boring. People doing investigations with, for want of a better word, with a broom up their ass, taking it far too seriously. And so I got given the opportunity to buy a camera, and with friends now, we just go about doing what we do, and that's being serious when we need to, calling out, trying to get any responses. But we just use our own natural humor. We have banter. We have fun while we do it. And not all paranormal investigations, from what you see, is straightforward. We show you the bits in between.
Yeah.
And that's Three Spires.
I mean, in actual fact, you know, like, for those that have not done ghost hunting, there is a lot of humor, because there has to be, because a lot of the time you just stood around doing bugger all because there's nothing happening.
Talking
and so you end up making yourself laugh, and stuff happens, you know, naturally, doesn't it? But
and we keep all that in.
Yeah, exactly. But it's nice that you keep all of that in, because that's the reality, you know, when because you do. I mean, the hobby is a mad hobby, because, you know, when you just in the middle, you know, at night, 3 a.m., whatever, speaking to walls, it's you know, it's close to loony bin territory. Do you know what I mean? But people don't get that, really. They don't understand, I suppose. It's like, what are these people doing? It's a mad hobby.
But the thing is, though, that's why the people you see on screen now do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
and there's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what
So,
I mean?
I mean-
We do actually spend hours talking to walls, where a lot of people, I'll just say it how it is, spend all those hours preparing what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Filling in the gaps of quietness. Yeah.
So, I mean, like I say, I know that obviously when you're just starting out, and I was saying to you before I came on, we when Paranormal Truth started, way back when, we were really pleased to get like 10 people watching our live stream, because we couldn't believe anybody would watch me, 2 a.m. when they should be in bed, basically. And I was like, wow, God, there's actually people watching this. But it's early days. It's very much passion. You want to get it getting out there and things like that. But what is, over time, it can get really hard, because you lose interest. You look at the views, and some people I've seen views, they might hit 50 views or 60 views, and you've put loads of time and effort in a particular place, and I know how it feels, because like, Christ, what am I doing wrong? So what is it for you guys that keeps you going back to the paranormal week after week after week? Right, who wants to? You can chip in. Whoever wants to start, really. Go on, Rianne.
I'll go. So yeah, I think it's just the passion of the paranormal. And when we go out, obviously we're thinking of camera angles and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we go out investigating for ourselves, as well as putting it out to viewers and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just the passion for it.
It's just amazing seeing these places. As Lee said before, I think we all started off perhaps not watching Most Haunted and Ghost Hunters, the American show, and then getting to go them places and kind of experience them for yourselves, and actually find out they are a lot quieter, but seeing all the things, the kind of collections that are in different places, like the ancient ramen, and then sort of experiencing places like 30 East Drive, that's kind of the joy of it. And then beyond that, we do like exploring the history of places that have just been left and forgotten about, and finding those. So I think that the hobby side of it is what keeps us going.
Yeah.
And then I don't feel like we're not growing on YouTube. It's a very slow growth process, but at the same time, you're seeing those kind of targets hit every year. We just set a target low, and then just we're not disappointed by it then.
Yeah, absolutely. How about yourselves? Ali said, in terms of what keeps you keep on going back week after week, because it like you've said in the past, Ali, you'd be like, Christ, I've quit so many times thinking
every week.
we're done.
Every week, what's the point in YouTube?
But the thing is, it's like if YouTube went down tomorrow, we'd still do it.
Exactly, and that's where I believe, and I'm going to say it right, and I probably won't go down very well, because anything we say right here, all of us, right, it can be perceived as, oh, these guys are just jealous, these guys are just bitter. Absolutely not, because take YouTube away, and I can guarantee a lot of these bigger channels would not investigate the paranormal.
Yeah.
And I actually know they would. They would pack it. And if YouTube said, get rid of paranormal YouTube channels, you can't do the paranormal anymore, a lot of these people would pack in and they'd stop. We wouldn't. We'd be out there in the cold. We'd be out there because we have done this for such a long time. And it's the small little things, the tiniest little things that keep you buzzing. Like when we went to Lennox Castle in Scotland, when you start doing what I suppose all you guys do as well, is when you start saying, right, okay, I'm going to explore beyond my postcode, you know? You start seeing better places. Lennox Castle Hospital in Scotland is stunning. The drone footage is stunning. What you can get from that is incredible. What we caught there was unique and so intriguing that it keeps the buzz. It keeps you buzzing, even at times where there's nothing.
You still have to go back. You've got to go back.
It's installed within you, the paranormal.
it is.
It chooses you.
I think there's a lot of people kind of nodding to that, because, like I did exactly the same thing. I started just with myself on my own, not with, way before we even thought about doing YouTube. I just buggering off to somewhere remote and just trying to capture something haunted. I mean, how about for you, Lee? What keeps you going with this?
I mean, people that know me will know this as fact. James and Rian will know this, but I do this as a video diary for my family to see when I'm dead and buried. You know, I mean, YouTube's going nowhere for a bit, and this is what your Uncle Lee did. You know, I mean, that's why I do it, and that's why I started uploading the videos in the first place. So, and at first, I'm like video week after week after week, and in the end, I went, I'm not enjoying it. So I put videos up when I want, and I've got the interest. I speak to James and Rian. I speak to Mike from Real Evidence quite a lot, and it's just like, how did you get on? Did you get anything? You know, and I'm always interested to find out what other people have captured. So, like what the guys have said, if YouTube disappears tomorrow, I've still got the interest, and I'll still go out and film, and I'll send the videos to family directly if they want it. It's that's what keeps me going, just the interest.
I mean, obviously we've all do, and we have done, you know, we still do stuff on YouTube. So do you want to just, I mean, I will go into the ins and outs of YouTube and various things, but do you want to describe your your experience of YouTube? You know, the good things about it, the frustrations about it, anything you like, just the whole experience of putting stuff out there.
As myself, do you want to go first?
Yeah, go for it, Lee.
Like I said, it is purely just a diary for me. And then obviously all of us sitting here are going to go, when that first paycheck turns up from a few adverts that you've had or a super chat, you go, ooh. And anybody who says they don't do that are a liar, right? You do. You just think, okay. But we don't do it for that.
Yeah.
If we wanted to do it for the paycheck, there'll be clocks melting off the walls and all sorts of shenanigans going on. But we all just even though that first YouTube paycheck comes in, and it's not a lot, it really is not a lot. The minimum you can get is like £60, I think, minimum.
Yeah.
Right. But even then, you go, okay, that's nice. People do like us. Let's carry on what we're doing. And that is just keeping it real. People watch us and appreciate us for keeping it real. And I know James and Rian have done the same. You know, they're not battering a video every week like they used to, because it is hard work. What a lot of people forget is that we've got full-time jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of us here have full-time jobs.
Just very, very quickly, John Boy Patton, thank you so much for the gifting memberships. And let's say, and that's, you know, again, we talk about support. I mean, it is absolutely appreciated.
It's
anything
amazing.
with small channels, it's massive, you know. So yeah, things like that really, really do have an impact. How about for yourself? You know, either of you, Horntex or Stafford, you know, whether your feelings around YouTube putting stuff out there, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, what's your feelings on it?
Yeah, I think Lee makes a good point there. You know, I wouldn't say felt the pressure to, but we wanted to put a video out, you know, relentlessly every week. And then one of your lives, actually, quite recently, when you had Kenny Biddle on, and he said, I don't understand how these paranormal investigation teams can, you know, keep putting a video out every week if they are sort of a true paranormal investigation team. Yeah. And I do totally agree with him. I think, I'm going to be honest with you now, I think, you know, when we can get to a location nice and early, with the daylight still there, we can check around the location. Our EMF meters packed in at the moment, so we do need to get a new one then, but take the EMF readings of the building and, you know, just make sure we know what kind of elements we're up against. We can do a full paranormal investigation. But when you kind of press for time, it's Friday night, you want to go because you're dead excited to, but you turn up at these locations in the dark. You don't really want to be shining lights around everywhere and drawing attention to yourselves. That, to me, then, actually, we're out ghost hunting at that point. It's a lot more scary. We haven't taken all the base readings and stuff like that. We don't really know what's going on in the house. So, yes, it is an experience then. But that's what I mean. You sometimes feel this pressure to kind of get a video out every week. Yeah. And just to keep you kind of self-current and in the field. I think that can be the pressure sometimes.
I agree, because I mean, like there was a time when Paranormal Truth fell into that kind of trap of thinking, right, well, we have to go out on a Friday, then we'll film it, get a couple of hours, then we'll have a few days then to edit it and then upload it and then release it for the following Friday. And we did that for a while, but it became too much. Like Dale, who I was with, was just like, he just lost interest essentially, because it was just way too much. And, fair credit to all those, YouTubers that try and do put stuff out every single week, because it's bloody hard, seriously hard to do that. And we just like, no, it became too much. It becomes a bind. And when it becomes a bind, you lose interest and you lose your passion for these things. I mean, what's your thoughts, Ali and Sadie,
I
about?
think as well, like weekly content, is finding the locations as well. That's one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
We are lucky with that, though.
Yeah,
with,
we are
with
lucky.
Johnny.
Yeah, because we do get a lot of pins, but 9 times out of 10, I mean, you can get there and not get in anyway. But it is really difficult with your locations. Like on a Saturday, your whole weekend's gone just doing one paranormal investigation. You leave, you do the investigation, you drive home, you spend the next day absolutely knackered because you've been up all night.
What did we do from
And then
we
you're
went
back
to
at
Scotland?
work on Monday.
I drove home at 11 o'clock at night from
Yeah.
Scotland all the way to England.
Yeah, like nearly a
What am I
6-hour
doing?
drive.
Madness.
And yeah,
But there's this thing as well, though. We're quite old school in the fact of how we investigate, as in the length of time. Our short investigations are 4 hours. You know, and I know how they're pulling out weekly content. They're going midweek or whenever, and they're going for 1 to 2 hours. Because that way you don't have that much footage to review.
Yeah.
But we are actually reviewing the footage before we edit it. So we're reviewing everything, looking at everything, listening to everything, before. That's what takes me ages to edit. I am my own worst enemy with editing, because I am like this in my head, a perfectionist of it has to be this, it has to be that. Even if I hear a like that, I'm editing that out. It's just too much, maybe. I maybe should let go of that a little bit.
It takes a long time,
but it
doesn't
takes me a long time to edit.
and then obviously what we're going to call it, and then it's like we can't clickbait it. That didn't happen.
No.
We can't say this, and you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. If you put something up, and then people are coming in and saying, "Oh, well, that didn't happen," and what a load of crap, and
you can't have a title that just says we investigated a lovely place.
It's so hard
We investigated this hospital that nothing happened.
because nobody's
Clicking onto that.
in.
But then we caught something huge, in our opinion, like 99%, proof of like an afterlife, in my opinion, at Borsley Hall. And we put spine-chilling proof of the pattern, and it was like clickbait, even though you can hear the voice imprinted onto our cameras clearly. It was still, oh, yeah, that guy with the beard's a dick.
I was going to. Well, actually, we're going to come on to that, because I mean, and I can see a few people putting questions in the chat. I will give you all chance in the chat to give you a chance to ask questions. Around about 1:45, something like that, roughly. We are going to come on to people's questions, but talking about the whole evidence capture and actually how frustrating it is, because like you've just said, you may get I mean, let's say you release 100 videos. 95 of those videos, there's literally nothing in it. And you end up apologizing for the fact there's nothing in it, right? Because that's the reality. 5 videos may actually contain something you think might be paranormal. You're really excited. You put it on YouTube, and yet nobody watches it, because the fake channels on YouTube, it's become almost like, well, yeah, so what? Because we see this every week with Sam and Colby, or we see this every week with these big YouTubers. So you telling me you found something, and so it doesn't get the views. I mean, what's your feelings on competing against these big, massive channels which are pumping out this so-called evidence?
See, the thing is with me, right? I'm just gonna. Oh, Lee, on you go, mate.
No, crack on.
So the way I was going to say this is we don't compete against anyone. The only people we compete against is ourselves, right? We don't see ourselves going up against anyone at all. And that's just the fact of, because we are unique, we are ourselves, we stay true to ourselves, and we couldn't even dream of thinking of even faking anything, because that's not Sadie, Ali and Sadie, that's not us, that's not who we are. But we don't see ourselves as like going up against anyone, because I'm competing with myself on my last video and making sure the edit's better than my last video. Never mind about who else is out there, you know, and trying to compete with that. The only thing I would compete with, I suppose, is the video production levels.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's it.
And
That's it
Sure.
completely.
okay, Lee. So obviously, like I said, 100 videos, 5%. Nobody gets any views, even though you think it's genuine, because there's so much fakery out on YouTube anyway, so no one's really watching.
We've had this conversation, James, Rianne, and a couple of other people within the last 48 hours. We don't get anything. We don't get anything on it. I mean, if we get a knock, it's like, that's impressive. But we went out recently, a few of us did, James and Rianne were there, and we got a few things that we can't debunk. So we were having a bit of a conversation with a few of us, and we're going, how do we present this?
Yeah.
We don't get anything. Now we have. How is that going to be perceived with people who watch this stuff? But I think they know us well enough to know that we've not fabricated anything, but what we've captured. I mean, Mike from Real Evidence, he put his video out yesterday, so I'm not plugging anybody, but if you want to go and watch Real Evidence from the investigation, he put his stuff out, and some of the stuff there we can't debunk, we don't understand. But going to your question, that's the sort of pressure that you're under. You don't get any evidence.
Yeah.
When you get something, how are people going to actually take this? Are they going to say we're bullshitting to try and get more views?
To get more views and to get more subscribers. Yeah, exactly. That's what you fall into. Yeah, exactly.
Do you fall into a bit of a what do we do now?
Yeah.
Do we release this video? But of course we're going to release it. But as to what people think, that's up to the people to judge. I was there.
Yeah.
James and Ram were there. We know what we heard. And
and James and Rianne, in terms of that issue around, trying to, not saying compete against the big channels, but when you feel as though you've got something, but no one's really paying much attention to it because there's bigger, better, more impressive stuff from a whole other, the big YouTubers.
Yeah, I think it's really, really hard because I think loads of people out there are so used to seeing fake paranormal channels that they think are 100% real and stuff like that, and they have voices caught like 7 times in half an hour window and chairs flying and all sorts. So when we actually capture something, which 9 times out of 10 it doesn't happen, but when we do capture something and we're right there in the investigation, we're like, how are we gonna sort of explain this to the audience and stuff? Because I feel like as soon as we capture something unexplainable, people are just going to jump straight onto, they're going down the fake kind of stuff.
I think we've got an absolute brilliant following of maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people who will watch any video we put out there. Suddenly we capture something of interest. When me and Chris were recently at a place, we were getting some weird knocks and different things going on that we couldn't explain at the time. And the views on that video, because there was a bit of activity in it, jumped to like 8,000. So there's that kind of, you can see why people would go down that route. And that is the big worry there. Or if it's kind of a video where we're more on edge, naturally, because we've gone in there in the dark, not kind of looked around the place first. Again, because people are seeing you on edge on camera, it's like there's more viewers tuning in for those ones. So the pressure would definitely be there if you wanted to go down that route. If we act more scared on an investigation, people will watch more. If we get more activity, don't know where we go about that, but more people will watch that episode.
I think we're very much like, we just keep it to ourselves. Like we just show real and honest, and what you see is what you get. And I know the teams we've worked with, they say we're just the same off camera as we are on camera, and that's what we hold ourselves accountable to.
Absolutely. Kaza, again, so supportive of so many channels, not just this one, but thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Would you, I mean, just quickly go back to people in terms of, do you think that's the main challenge then? Now, like you say, there are these big channels that are apparently finding evidence left, right, and center because it's nonsense. So you as a smaller channel with if you ever get anything which you feel is genuine, is that the main challenge for you guys then of how do you present this in as open a way as possible? Is that the main challenge for you, or are there other challenges or bigger challenges you find?
Yeah, I think that's sort of like the main challenge for us. I think that we just put our videos out there and we welcome all criticism, negative, positive, and all our viewers, like all our loyal viewers, will say we 100% trust and believe in you, and we always will. But then, obviously, if that certain video like pops off, you're going to have the negative influx of comments coming in, say, well, this is fake and stuff, and it only takes those sort of rumors to start going that,
Yeah, I'm never worried about being debunked.
No.
At the end of the day, if someone comes in and says, "Oh, I know what happened there. It was this," if someone comes in and says you faked that, I'll be like, well, "No, we didn't," and here's the proof. We can have the raw footage, we can have all the mics and stuff like that. But I'm not scared of being debunked on something. I actually, welcome it, and we welcome it on this channel. Another interesting thing, when you were on about, when we do capture something, how's the best way to present it? And I think that's when titles come into it, because to some extent you have got to use a little bit of clickbait to get your kind of video noticed. As Ali said before, if you just put, we investigated 30s Drive
and caught nothing.
It
was going to what?
So usually, for our videos and stuff, it might be the Rianne did a lone vigil. So you'd say, or so haunted, Rianne stayed on her own. And, you kind of play on it a little bit. So you're not saying, anything fake. You're not saying that we caught poltergeist activity or a demon flew across the screen. But Rianne did stay in the location. It's supposedly haunted. So you can work with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if not, you just won't get noticed.
I can absolutely, I can sympathize with the fact that, because it's such a rarity that when you actually get something where you think, oh, actually, this is really interesting. I've got, responses and it's seemingly responding to my questions and things. There is a thing of like, Christ, how am I going to present this? And as open a way as possible. And I think quite right, James, you just give yourself over to, in terms of to the debunkers and go, well, if you can explain this to me, great, go for it, because I can't. I can't think of a rational explanation for this. I mean, I did the same thing. I approached Kenny Biddle in America just to say, look, this is the best experience I had. Can you in any way explain what the hell happened to me? Because it's, in a way, you want answers, and everybody needs answers for these things. And like you say, it drives the interest of paranormal. Okay, Lee and go for Lee next. I mean, what have you got any additional thoughts from what James just said?
I've got an additional thought from what you have just said,
Okay,
and that is debunkers. They're our friends, and it's as simple as that. If you're a real channel, like everybody here that you're watching now, if you've got something that you do find a little bit like, I'm not sure about that. How will this be perceived? Even if you just, it doesn't matter if you think it's, what could this noise be? Even if you just think, oh, how's that going to be taken by people? Would people think that's this or that and the other?
Yeah.
Give it to a debunker, wherever you are in the world. There's going to be a debunker who is in that country. Find who they are and ask them to send them the footage. Debunkers are your friends.
Yeah.
And if you're real and you're honest, I would implore anybody to go and send their footage to a debunker, or even if you don't trust debunkers, which a lot of people don't, send them to another paranormal team. Who you trust. You might not get you might not get the answer you're looking for, but I mean, I can only speak for James and Rianne out of this panel here, but we've sent footage to debunkers in the past, and we've been disappointed with some of the results we've had back. But the fact that they've been honest with us, we can then be honest with our public, with our viewers.
Yeah. Absolutely. One thing I wanted to just chat about before we go on to questions is, and I said that, for smaller channels, and we talk about the passion for it, but to get across, I suppose, the costs involved, because you can't get away from it, because whether that's costs as in time, the time to edit, the time to go through the footage, because it all costs, things cost, the travel costs, the camera costs, it's huge actually, and you don't get that back. So do you want to just, Ali said, do you want to just give people a bit of an idea, actually, the realities as a small channel going out, and the fact that this costs, you financially to keep doing what you're doing, really.
It does cost, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does cost a heck of a lot. I mean, we started off, I suppose I've gone through about 50 laptops. It's unbelievable. I've still got, so I started off with an iMac, because I got told you obviously you need an iMac and everything. I got that second hand, about 900 quid. And then now I've got a MacBook Pro M3 chip, and that's like $3,000. So then you've got your cameras. We've upgraded our cameras. I love my Canon M50 with the Sigma lens, 16mm lens with the 1.4 aperture. I love that. I'm not going to sell that. I will still keep that. But
and you wanted the drone.
And then I wanted a drone. That's £575.
It just goes on and on and on.
And then
doesn't
the
it?
DJI mics, they were at the time, I think we got them for 200 quid actually on a discount. But I think all in all, I mean, the cameras now, the Canons, we've upgraded to 750 each second hand, and I think we've spent probably about $8,000 in total, really. And then you've got your travel costs. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got, if you want to do a paid location, we don't mind doing paid locations sometimes. But it was like Skirridin, 350 quid. You know what I mean? But when we are blessed, we are blessed in life, that we don't need to worry and panic about money, about financial, situations or anything, and worry about, what's YouTube going to bring me this week, because I need that now. We're very blessed and grateful and thankful to the universe for supplying, because we do have that openness with the law of attraction as well. It's just a part of us, spiritually, as spiritual, I suppose, beings on a human journey. But it is a very costly thing. I mean, a lot of people don't see.
You're forking out constantly.
Constant.
And that's the thing I wanted to kind of focus on, is that, that it's a very expensive, it's a hobby, fine. And you're going to plow money into a hobby. Fine, absolutely fine. But this whole idea of, well, you're on YouTube, so you're going to be earning that back. Lee, have you earned the money back from YouTube content creation?
Nowhere near. Nowhere near. I mean, when I first started, I was pretty lucky in respect of getting my first camera. When my grandfather passed away, we all received a gift out of the estate.
Yeah.
And I bought a camera and a laptop, and that's luckily got the ball rolling, so to speak. Everything else, everything else that we've got since is all out of my paycheck from my day job. Nowadays, I don't get a lot of money from YouTube. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Me personally, from YouTube, I get around £120 a month. That's honest. So that good. Helps. Well, it's not too bad, but that helps pay towards, like, when we went to Four Crosses, that bought a new light and a new IR light for the camera. So it does help, but nearly all of it is out of my own pocket. Same as everybody here. We all, we don't get anything back from YouTube, really.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
And before again, I'll just do one last question before we go on to for people's questions. So if you, I'll put it on here as well. So if you have got, start thinking of questions for yourself for Lee, James, Rianne, Ali, or Sadie. Start thinking of questions for them now, because I mean, like I said, I wanted to shine a light on the fact that of smaller channels. So one last little question: why should people on YouTube search out these smaller, genuine channels? What is the benefit? Why not just go to Sam and Colby? Why not just go to Twin Paranormal, but where they can give you all the fun of the fair? Right, who wants to go? Who wants to go on that one? Go on, James.
I
I
Well,
think
we're always
if people want honest, real investigating, ghost hunting, then they need to seek out like smaller channels like us, people in this chat, people on this live.
I'm just going to quote the Ouija Brothers as well, and it's way more exciting when it's real, and that's
Yeah.
the bottom line of it.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, people, the sad thing is people believe all the fake stuff that they see on YouTube. And as to point out another quote from Griff is, if you're interested, go out and do it yourself and just experience, if you can, obviously experience it for yourself. And then you'll have more sort of respect and stuff for the smaller real channels.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just kind of add to that, I suppose, as well. This is a similar issue with ghost event companies. I've seen members of the public go to an event run by a ghost event company expecting Most Haunted. And they, and I know it, that's not the reality of going to a haunted location. You get nothing. And so if you go into, for me, if you watch these smaller channels, legitimate channels, genuine channels like yourselves going out week after week, it gives the public a much better, clear idea of what they're more likely to face if they ever do this kind of business.
It's what goes on in real life. It's real life.
Yeah.
These real life investigate. This is what happens when you go out and you buy yourself a camera and you want to start up your own YouTube channel. This is the reality of what actually happens.
Yeah.
That's why you should watch the smaller channels. This is the reality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I know that all the way through this stream, the lovely mods, Lou, Diane, Tim, they've been posting lots and lots of links to all your channels. Yes. Please do follow before you kind of peter away, after the questions things. Please do make sure you follow Hauntex TV. Make sure you follow 3 Spies Paranormal. Make sure you follow Staffordshire Paranormal Explorers, because it will help them out massively. Please do it. And also, if you're not subscribed to me, bloody subscribe to me. Right. Let's get into some questions. So I'm going to go up slightly, because there probably are going to be lots and lots of questions for you. I did spot one a moment ago. You are sorry. There we go. One from Roger saying, to all 3 teams, where would your dream location be and what would you most like to capture there? Who wants to go first?
Well, I think
Tower of London.
Hang on. Sadie beat you.
No.
Carry on, Sadie. Carry on.
So my dream location, which you'd never get in, would be Alcatraz.
Yeah.
I'd love to do Alcatraz. But I know, you've got no chance, so... Yeah, totally there.
Pretty much.
Lee?
Tower of London. Yeah, I'd love to get into the Tower of London. What I'd like to see there, I don't know. Probably the apparition of Henry VIII with a holding some mead, just strolling towards me.
James and Rianne, which place would be your dream location?
There's quite a few. I can't think of one that really stands out. I know we really want to go to the Jamaica Inn, the Skirridin, the castle, Newcastle. Forgot the names.
Yeah,
the castle up north. And we want to get up Scotland as well. Maybe starting next year in the camper van and just doing the old castles like Lennox Castle and different places.
And there's loads more.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
try and find that supposedly haunted boppy up there and things
Oh,
like that.
yeah,
there is one,
and there's
yeah.
one in Wales as well,
Location.
by the way.
Yeah.
Real, thank you.
Beardo's just put he's put question, not really a question. Anyway, I've had a 40k video at East Drive. These views barely covered the venue, let alone the fuel, the food, etc. These guys do it for the love of all of them. Absolutely spot on, Beardo. Absolutely spot on. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Okay, let's quickly go down. Here we go. Cheers, Seg. What are all your thoughts on my haunted project? Just chucking a grenade in here and running away. Amazing. Cheers, Seg.
It is what it is.
Who is it? Who are they?
Danny Moss. Hiya, Danny.
Never
Do
watched
you know what? The guy's never bothered me, ever. Used to follow him on Twitter and everything like that. If he wants to do what he wants to do, good luck to the guy. And it's like anyone, What my thoughts on it? Well, he's making money from it, so good luck to him.
Yeah, I can't comment because I've never ever watched him or anything he does. So
Fair enough. Fair
comment on
enough.
that one.
Not my cup of tea, but whatever.
Lee? Is that a no comment, Lee?
It's a neat note. No. People who know me know I'll bloody comment. Can't stand them. They upset people I like. So full of shit, if you want my opinion, but that's my opinion.
There you go. James and Rianne?
We've been to my haunted hotel 3 years ago now. Actually, it was a good night. I can't say, we saw any tomfoolery going on or anything like that. So I don't know. I've seen other people's videos on the project and different things, and it's raised a few eyebrows, but I can't really say too much more on it. I wouldn't say from personal experience going there, I didn't really witness anything then, but other people have kind of put out videos since, and it has kind of made me think, I don't know, but I wasn't there for it, so I can't comment on that any further.
Yeah.
Okay.
My thought is.
Oh, go on. Sorry, Rianne.
No problem. My thought is, I'm not going to say too much, but it is a business at the end of the day. So make that what you will. So yeah.
That's fine. I mean, and for those that don't realise what my haunted hotel is, I think it's because the old King's Head in Chester. I think is it Ye Old King's Head? But anyway, that's the place.
Yeah.
Tracy saying hello to Justin and Guess. Are there skeptics that you know of or met over the years that have changed your thoughts with what you do?
Don't know.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, for me, and I think when you talk to people, the more people you talk to, for me, the more you feel as though you need to analyze exactly what you've got. And might make you think slightly differently about, okay, well, maybe it was this, and it might open your mind up to other alternative explanations for things. It may not necessarily switch my thoughts to, oh, well, in that case, it's definitely not paranormal then. But I think the more people you listen to or the more explanations you give, I mean, speaking to psychologists, for instance, it makes you wonder how much is going on in your head straight away as soon as you hit these places. Even saying a place is haunted, prepares you, makes you think that, oh, okay, I'm going into a spooky place when actually it's just a building. It's psychology, I think, plays a massive amount. So that's my personal opinion. Anybody else want to?
I think we're fully aware of the psychological side of the paranormal, because when you look at a building, and I always bring it back to when I was in Scotland at Menzies Castle, Mingus Castle, some people call it Castle Menzies, and you go over in the little town of a little village called Weem, and it's like when you go over the bridge, it's all misty. It's always misty. And then you go up to it and you think, oh my God, this is going to be a cracker. Oh my God, it looks spooky. The mist adds in with the kind of atmospheric conditions of, oh my God, this is going to be... And then you get in and nothing happens. And then you think, oh, but you could let it run away with yourself. And this is what we tend to not do, is let things
Yeah.
run away with
We
yourself.
try to settle
try
ourselves
to-
into the building quite
yeah.
a while before, don't we?
Exactly, and that's what it's all about, settling your energy into the building and the energy settling in with you as well. But yeah, psychological side, it's massive. We try to, I suppose, I hate this word debunk, but you know what I mean? We try to think rationally first before, oh my God, this is probably going to be something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's me as a psychic medium. I'm very, very skeptical over a lot of other psychic mediums out there.
Okay, just before we go on to Cal's question, Lee, did you have any other thoughts on skeptics?
I mean, I've got friends and family who are skeptical or just really don't want to know because it frightens them a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's just the truth of it. So I'll never change their mind. It's that they appreciate it's just my little hobby, and yeah, so they tend not to ask. They always, are asking, "How did you get on? Did you get anything?" But when I tell them, they wish I hadn't.
Yeah.
Simple as really.
Yeah, I'm like that at work.
Okay. The lovely Dr. Cal Cooper is on saying, who is your favorite writer on ghosts and why?
I think have I got,
You've got Cal's book.
I've got Kel's book, Phone Calls.
Are you going to say Cal?
Phone Call from the Dead.
Yeah, Phone Calls from the Dead. I've got that book.
Have you read it, Sadie?
No.
There you go.
I have got it.
It's terrible. That's
Sorry.
shocking.
But I have got it. I've had it long.
Steve Parsons' book is quite interesting. It's here somewhere, but I do have it. It's the Spontaneous Investigations. It's the Blue Book.
Oh,
It's
yeah, the
somewhere.
SPR's
I can't remember
guide
the
to
name.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I thought that
SPRs.
was not bad actually, to be fair, but I quite like
Yeah.
Steve Parsons. The whole thing about protecting the audio and everything like that. I quite like that, and I've got obviously the old. Everyone's got that when it got released, I suppose, from 1977, wasn't it, or something like that? That book,
Yeah, I can say Steve Parsons. I mean, if you've not aware of the publications he's done for the SPR, that they're really easy to read, really straightforward, and also his books as well, Ghostology and things, are excellent. Lee,
I don't read. No, in all seriousness, so I don't read books. I don't have the time. But when I was younger, the first book I ever had and was really interested was back in the 80s. And forgive me, I can't remember the full title, but it was Arthur C. Clarke's World of something.
Strange Powers, or
That's it, something like that, and it had everything in it from apparitions to spontaneous human combustion to everything. It was the first that first got me into the Borley Rectory story. There was a whole section there about Borley Rectory, and that was probably the first book of interest that I ever read. And but no, unfortunately, with all due respect to Cal Cooper, I'm sorry, I don't read a lot at the moment. Sorry. World of the Strange. That was it. Thank you. World of the Strange. Arthur C. Clarke's World of the Strange. That was it. Thank you.
Okay, James and Rhiannon, particular authors?
Yeah, I think with us as well, we would like to have more time to kind of read more about the parapsychology and kind of more in depth into the field. We basically just got a collection of kind of the ghost stories of Staffordshire, Shropshire, different places like that. So yeah, we do need to do more kind of research into that area. You don't really read, do you?
No, I don't.
You love a good audiobook, though.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd definitely like to kind of dive deeper into the kind of what's to offer out there in the paranormal field through reading.
Quick question from Jenny saying, question to if you could summon a famous spirit using the Ouija board, all right, not saying anything, who would it be? Let's say not a Ouija board, but let's say you could summon a famous spirit. Who would it be?
That's a good question.
I'll go first.
Go on, Rian.
Michael Jackson, just because I'm a huge fan of his, always have been, always will do. And yeah, I'd just love to know all the truth about him and just ask him questions. So yeah, that would be my one.
Okay.
What about you?
Not sure. I'll pass it over to someone else first. Yeah.
I don't know about that one, to be fair.
Probably be Harry Price, to be fair. Because I'd like to ask him about the whole situation with likes of Helen Duncan and that. Because I've spent quite a bit of time with Helen Duncan's granddaughter, Meg, trying to get, Helen's name cleared through this witchcraft and everything that she was up for back in the day. But I would like to, I would like to have a connection. Really, I feel going back in the day, I suppose 2010. I felt at that time when I was looking at the development of paranormal experimentation that I had that kind of, and I know people would think, what a crazy guy, but I felt a little bit connected to the likes of Harry Price, the way he was thinking at that, maybe at certain points, rationally with how can we develop experimentation with that, But I'd like to ask him a lot of questions, to be fair.
Okay.
Curious, what was
Lee?
going through his head, at the time of Borderley Rectory?
Well, that's it. I've had time to think about my answer, and I'm going with Ed Warren to find out why he was such an arse and to answer some of the allegations that were made against him.
That's right.
Answer me this, Ed, if
good.
that's even your real name, right?
Yeah.
What about this? And I'd like to ask him a few questions. So
I
that's what I'll bring back.
I think I would want to speak to somebody who would give you it, like to give the experience no nonsense. Just somebody like James Randi, somebody who would just absolutely tell you straight what happened, which is probably nothing. Right. Oh, good one. So Spookfest is saying, what's your favorite local legend in your area?
Oh.
I think for us in Staffordshire, the one that just springs to mind straight away is Molly Lee, the Burslem witch, who's not too far away from us. And kind of the background story on her, some believe she was a witch, others believe it was just kind of an older lady who perhaps kept herself to herself and was just judged that way. But I find that quite an interesting, good local story with kind of a documentation behind it as well. And we've been to a grave, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Either everybody else?
I don't think we've got one, have we?
No, apart from the legend of the haggis, I don't know. Because here I go. I don't know. Local legends, I don't know.
No.
Neil Packer from Parameet.
Yeah,
He's a local legend.
he is.
Okay, Lee?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, going back from what James said, probably Molly Lee, as a Staffordshire ghost, or even the story behind Hex, the chain tree of Alton Towers.
Oh yeah.
The ride Hex at Alton Towers, where that's actually based on an alleged true story, or a myth anyway, that we know of. I don't know all the facts, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's a pretty cool one.
One here from the legendary Mickey York, just saying, what would have to happen to stop you guys investigating the paranormal? Good question, Mickey.
You know our
Russia.
I don't know.
Russia.
Nothing. I'll always investigate the paranormal because
Yeah.
the paranormal is installed within us. That's it.
Yeah.
End of. You know what I mean? We're never going to stop.
We won't stop.
Never going to give up that.
No.
Ever.
I said Ali you'll be pushing me around in a wheelchair and still be going.
Absolutely. Seriously, absolutely
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Still
absolutely.
be going.
James, Rhiannon?
I think for me, it would just be old age, and if I was to become bedbound or whatever, that would stop me. But that is literally.
Bit of a sad thought.
But yeah, that's literally the only thing that would stop me.
Okay, Lee? Oh, sorry, no, you've already given your answer. Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those. It is a good question though, because I think initially, when I first set out, I just wanted some form of proof. Whether it would be enough to convince other people or not is a different matter. But I wanted to go out and I've always said it for a long time back. I read Guy Lyon Playfair's book on the Enfield Poltergeist, and it inspired me when I was like, I don't know, 14, 15. And I was like, bloody hell, I want to be hit by a Lego brick. I want to be in that situation, which is a really weird thing, I know. But I wanted to experience it. And I mean, and I believe I have experienced the paranormal genuinely, but it hasn't stopped me going, well, I've found it now. And I've got all the answers. I can just give up investigating now. That's just it was never a thing, And even though I'm not investigating as much as I used to, this whole podcast is surrounded around this interest in the paranormal and speaking to like-minded people. Okay, let's go. I think I missed one. Let's quickly go down. Oh, hang on. I'll just do. There we go. Orange Cat Wrangler. Good name. What's your favorite apparition capture?
I haven't had one.
Like I say, I've never captured one. I'd say my favorite ghost photo is the Newby Church monk photo of the ghost, and I love that one.
Tomb?
Pardon,
Justin.
sorry.
Is that the one next to the tomb, Justin, where it stood?
It's at the altar. It's the one at the altar. And it's meant to, and it's got this kind of skeletal looking face. It's probably fake. It's probably a double exposure, but I don't care because it's a great photo. But anyway, okay. Go on. Anybody else?
There's one I remember on the stairs in a big hall somewhere that I really liked. A woman.
Oh yeah.
Justin showed it on his podcast.
Which one is it? Sorry.
The other day. On last Thursday, Shrimp Tea Party.
Oh, was it Raynham Hall, the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's the one. That's a good one.
But yeah, we've not captured any.
No.
No.
Anybody else?
You've gone into my favourite photos. Yeah, you've gone through them.
There's another one actually that just come to me. I think it's in not too far from us, a place called Wem, and there was a girl in an old hall there, caught in a photograph. Well, supposedly, I think it's been kind of debunked since then. But there's a girl in a building sort of hall in Wem in Shropshire that was interesting, but I do believe it's been debunked since.
Cal Cooper's just saying, go old school, check out Peter Underwood's books. I adore Peter Underwood. That's why I had his grandson on here on the podcast speaking to him, because I think I've got about I've not got all as many books as Cal Cooper's got, because Cal's got a basic library. But I think I've got around about 20 of Peter Underwood's books, because I adore that man. Okay, let's go down to see if I have missed any questions. I severely apologize. I know I'm not going to keep you too much longer because we've gone over the hour. I'm seeing lots and lots and lots of links to all your channels. Okay. Last couple of questions. If the viewers who watch your real investigations feel as if something could happen around any corner but doesn't, then to me it's the atmosphere of the building, how it's filmed, that's more scary. I say that. I mean, that's not really a question, but I get that, in terms of you want to feel as though it's a genuine experience and a genuine event rather than it's been, it's going to be faked or someone's going to jump out or whatever. Have you been out and about, not investigating, and had a paranormal experience?
I mean, yes.
Well, probably what you think that you have, but was it? That's the question.
See, it's such a cliche, isn't it? I see dead people, but I do. But the thing is, though, right. I've been up beside where you used to work. If you remember, there's a bench, and I literally seen a lad sat on the bench, and then it's like you just kind of go, and then boom, seconds later he's gone. And I said to you, "Where's that lad gone? He's sat on the bench. So obviously he's ran down the road or something. So there's me looking, trying to run down the road to see if I can. There's nobody there at all. Go around the bend though, and there's flowers on the road because someone been killed on the road."
That's interesting.
How I met Sadie, right? Well, when I met your mum and dad, I said about this old man peering through their window and described the old boy and everything like that. And your mum came down the stairs and said, with a picture, "Oh my God, it's not my dad, is it?" And it was him peering through. So paranormal experiences, it's still paranormal experience, but through my eyes, through, my mediumship in no sense.
Very good. Are there stuff, Lee?
we had, well, me and my nephew had a really interesting experience. It wasn't long after we'd set up the Staffordshire Paranormal channel. Don't know what it was called back then, because we were actually documenting old railway lines on there as well. And we'd gone for a bike ride along the Monsalt Trail, which I think just falls into Derbyshire.
Yeah.
And you were with us, weren't you, that day, Rhiannon? But it was when you were less fitter, let's say. And me and my nephew were approaching this tunnel entrance, and we both just saw what looked like an old lady kind of floating across the tunnel entrance, because we both jammed the brakes on, like, what's that? And we both kind of said to each other at that point, you know, did you just see that? To this day, you know, it could have been some dust just kicked up from the side or something like that. But I don't know, that it could have been. And the weirdest thing about it all is we've never been back there to investigate, which is just criminal. But it is one place we do need to go back to and have a look at what we perhaps captured, well, saw that day.
Fabulous. Right, I think I'm just gonna pause it because we've gone over the hour. However, I've got a couple of messages to give to people before we disappear. But just to kind of reiterate, please do check out these three wonderful channels: Staffordshire Paranormal Explorers. Please do check out Three Spires Paranormal and Hauntex TV. Go along, subscribe to them. Like I say, the links have been in the chat all night. Show them some love. Subscribe to them. Check out some of their investigations. Show the support for them, because, you know, I know there are many teams out there that have, you know, do the similar kind of thing as these guys. You know, I just had to pick a couple, but please, you know, if support these guys, but also just check out some smaller channels, and, you know, and if they don't go about things in a way that you like, fine, don't sub to them. But if they do, then comment, like, share, all of that kind of stuff, because it really does genuinely help these smaller channels. Just going to quickly go around. Is there anything you wanted to say, you know, to promote your own channels before we go? Ali and Sadie, do you want to kind of, you know, give a bit of self promotion around each channel and your channel?
I mean, our channel, Hauntex TV, is literally as real as they come. You know, we don't fabricate anything, because why would we? We don't need to. We have got the experience, we have got the knowledge within the subject as well. I know it's sometimes boring on lives when, you know, you start talking about energies and stuff like that, but that's us, you know.
And that's the paranormal.
And that's the paranormal, like it or lump it. But yeah, I mean, we take on board people's you know, own comments. We love interacting with people, and we pride ourselves on answering every single comment, because if someone's commenting on our channel, we give that respect back to say thank you so much for being there. Thank you for watching. And we really do genuinely care about the paranormal as a whole. And as I said to Beardo on his live the other night, I said, people only dislike debunkers and all that because they've got something to hide. If you've got nothing to hide, welcome them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. If you want to feel as if you're involved in a paranormal investigation, or if you want to feel as if you want to experience these places with your friends, with your mates, then give us a go. We have banter. We have banter with you guys. Yeah, if you want to feel like you're having an investigation with your friends, with your mates, give us a go.
Great stuff. And James and Rhiannon.
Yeah, so if you want real, honest investigators like the two wonderful teams in this chat, then please watch us, subscribe to us, and we're just ourselves. What you see is what you get. The good, the bad, the ugly, the moody days, the happy days, everything. And
I've seen Rhiannon pay behind a bush.
Beautiful words,
for having us
beautiful
on,
words.
though, Justin.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
it's just amazing to be a part of such an incredible community that you know, follows us as all. It's really good.
Yeah.
And I think actually that's what this, I mean, the podcast is, this is what it's all about. It's not just, I mean, yes, I get experts in the relative fields, and authors and professors and a whole range of people. But part of this is also talking to people who have had real experiences, people who go out, and with the love of the paranormal, and want to try and show that to people or get across what happened to them. That's what the podcast is all about. And to me, I don't care who you are, what channel you are. If you're genuine and honest and you go about things the right way, that's all that matters to me. And so thank you so much, all of you, for coming on this evening and having a bit of time with me. So thank you so much, guys.
Can I just say one thing before we go? Can I just say one thing?
Go on, Lee.
Justin, thank you so much for inviting us on. But if everyone can go and vote for Justin, who's been nominated for the award, yes, I'm sure. I think Lou's put the links in there, so please go and
Thank you. And can we say as well, Hauntex TV are nominated as well?
Yes, they're that way. Haunted X TV. Go and give them a like as well.
Just don't tell Ghosts on Trent.
Yeah. Who are Ghosts on Trent anyway? Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations. Just even getting a nomination is brilliant, isn't it? So fair play.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you so much, guys. Please, if you're watching, don't disappear just yet. I just want to say one quick thing, and then I'll let you go. But thank you so much. So Ali and Sadie, Lee from Three Spires, and then James and Rianne, thank you so much for coming on. Hope you've enjoyed this evening, and hope you follow these guys, because they go about things in exactly the right way and how you should do. So thank you so much for tonight, guys. And right, I shall say goodbye to you guys. It's just bear with me 1 minute. Let me get rid of one at a time. Boom, 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 and there we go. Okay, just for you at home, just two little things really. Phil Bond, talk about small channels. Phil Bond, UK Paranormal Search. He's about to go live again. Small channel. Look, see he's down there. Less than 1,000 subscribers. Nearly 200 videos. Please don't check out Phil. He goes out on his own into so many places. He needs a bit of love, bit of support. He's going live tonight at East Drive at 10 o'clock. Try and go over to him and just give him a bit of support, which would be lovely. For myself, if you could. If you've enjoyed this podcast this evening and you enjoy what I do, and it would be a whole load if you could vote. And I know Lou has and Diana or Tim have put kind of links into for this GPN awards, but I would really, really appreciate it. There's a QR code there, you can scan that if you so wish. And if you want to nominate for me for top podcast, great. I'm just very, very, very grateful for just being one of the finalists alongside some amazing company as well. So thank you so much for that. And finally, just to kind of just reiterate, I suppose, next week I'll be doing the Chips Tea Party, and I'll just show you now before I go the people who we have got coming up in the next 4 weeks. All right. Until then, and like I say, I'll see you on Monday next. Will I see you this week? Can't remember. Probably next week. I'll see you on Monday. And thank you guys for all your support and for all your chat and the support, the donations and the super chats and things like that. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so leave you with who I've got coming up very, very soon.